Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
It's Thursday. I was just about to say welcome to our Tuesday Breakfast Buddies online, but it's not. It's Thursday. So this is all a bit confusing. So due to some unforeseen circumstances, the yard isn't able to open this morning. So Rachel and I are coming on live from our houses to do a little mini Breakfast Buddies online with you. Just to keep ourselves out of trouble this morning, isn't it, Rachel? Keep ourselves busy. But
keep us in line.
Yeah, we will be back business as normal tomorrow. But yeah, it's just one of those mornings. A few things have gone on, so we're coming online instead. So yeah, just me and Rachel this morning. Rachel, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So,
the dog's going crazy. Is that your doorbell?
No one's at my door. They're like doing the bins, so it's bin day. Yeah, I'm doing good. I feel quite sunny and like in a good, uplifting mood today. And I think mostly because I like playing with makeup and like dancing in the morning.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm good.
Amazing. I said to Rachel when we came online just before, I was like, oh my gosh, she looks so lovely today. She's done her makeup. I mean, it's all for you, all for this Breakfast Buddies online, isn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes we don't see each other with all makeup done, do we? So it's nice. You're looking rather lovely this morning. So yeah, and I'm glad to hear that you are feeling sunshiny.
What about
do you know my internal weather today? I am a little bit. I'm all right. I'm so tired. Again, I just feel like it's this time of year. Although we're now in February, it's still quite a dull and dark and cold, and I'm just so tired at the moment. I haven't been sleeping well this week. I've had really bad sleep. I don't know what's going on. But hopefully over the weekends I'll catch up on some sleep and feel a bit more awake next week. But yeah, so I'm a bit cloudy, but I reckon there might be some sunshine coming through later.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, so we're all good. Okay, so yeah, just like a little mini session this morning, and we've had a look and seen what's going on in the news and going on in Northampton, and the first thing that we thought we'd talk about is something that is a huge piece of news this morning and is going to affect every single person. And it's the rise in all our utilities and things like that, isn't it, Rachel?
Yeah. I found an article about it today, so I'll share that.
Yeah, share that for us.
And then it's this one. There we go. Yeah, you've got some figures in, but it seems like the energy bill's gonna maybe overlap normal rent payment.
Oh my gosh.
It's getting to that extent. So we have this gentleman here, Michael Ball, saying that anything over a 30% rise in April will make me leave this flat, as I'm already spending more than my rent on energy.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's actually really quite scary, isn't it? I was watching something, I can't remember if it was on the news this morning or it was yesterday, but they were saying that, you know, some people are going to be put in the scenario that they are going to either have to choose to eat or choose to heat, you know, so either because the food prices has gone up, and obviously all the energy bills are going up, and it's really, really putting people in some real terrible positions. Just say good morning, Manoli. Hope you're okay. Nice to see you this morning. Well, not see you, but you know, nice for you to join us online. Thank you. So yeah, well, I just found this little article which is quite interesting. So it says its price rises to hit millions today as the cost of living crisis grips the nation. So they're saying that in the next year, and this is just to put some context to it in how much, you know, like money-wise, it's actually potentially could be. So they're saying that energy bills are going to go up by £600, mortgages by £732. So that means over a year you'll be paying an extra £600 on energy, £732 on mortgages. So they're going to be national insurance. There's going to be a hike in that, and that's £225.
Oh my God.
Grocery bills, £180. Council tax, £500.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And fuel, so obviously petrol and diesel for those of us that drive, £311. Now, you might think to yourself, oh, well, that doesn't, you know, for example, £311 over a year. Well, that doesn't seem, you know, too much. But actually, you look at all of that together, and every single one of those is going to be going up. There's going to be some real people in some serious problems, isn't there? It's scary.
That makes me worried a lot, because it's like, how is it going to support people on benefits such as like who can't work? Like, that's scary to think about, because they need to eat, they need to have a roof over their head, and council tax and everything. It's going to be way too much.
I know, it is. It's actually really scary. Now, I did hear this morning, and I don't know quite the details, but apparently the government are going to be putting some support out there for low-income families. What support that may be, who knows? But I mean, I'd guess that whatever they're going to offer is not going to be near enough by, you know, what they normally do. But, you know, even it is actually really scary to think that you are going to have to make choices. You know, people need to be able to put petrol in their car to get to work.
Yeah.
If you can't get to work, how are you going to earn money? If you can't earn money, how are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to put food on the table? This is going to have such a huge knock-on effect on people. It is actually really worrying, isn't it?
It's terrifying.
It really is. It really is. I mean, I know just from sort of the pandemic, like, I don't know about you, Rachel, but my food shopping bill has gone up enormously.
I've noticed that. And I'm not someone that snacks a lot, so I usually just buy the necessities. And I've noticed it gone up a lot, and I'm like, but I'm not buying chocolate this week. I'm not buying a video game this week. Why is it so much?
No sort of luxury items. Just the sort of basics that you need. I know. And I drive, and my car's diesel, and honest to God, I can't tell you the amount of money I'm spending on diesel at the moment. It is through the roof. It's ridiculous. But obviously, I've got to put diesel in my car because I need to get to work, and I need to take the kids to school, and you know, you need to get to places. So I really do hope that the government do put something decent in place, because this is going to break families, and you know, not just families, anyone who's sort of struggling, really. So I think I think Rishi Sunak is doing an announcement this afternoon, like, and I don't know if it's in the House of Commons or something. So I guess we will watch this space and see what he has to say. But it may well be that hang on, I've just got to say good morning to Pete. Morning, Pete.
Good morning from Ireland.
I know. We love Pete. He's been on breakfast, like when it used to be called Tea and Toast online, and then when we was in like lockdowns and stuff, he's come on before and joined us for a few. He does a lot of work with the Ron Todd Foundation. So it's great to see you watching. Thanks, Pete. But yeah, I think it may well be that we may need to be offering some support down at the yard, and to do with these sort of things, and seeing, you know, because I do feel like people are going to be worried. I do feel like people are going to need extra support. And this will probably be something that we'll carry on in our work at the yard over the next few weeks and months. And if people need some support and need some idea of perhaps, you know, if there's any sort of benefits or help that you can claim, that's something you can come down and have a chat with us and see what we can do, because it's worrying times. And but let's see what Rishi says this afternoon, and I'm sure we will be discussing this some more next week in our Tuesday Tea and Toast, don't you think, Rachel? Because it's going to affect all of us, which is scary times. But okay, right. What else did you find? What was that other article, Rachel?
Well, I got two. We got a story about in Northamptonshire Country Park play areas, they become smoke-free, so like no smoking around children's parks. So we could have a conversation about how you feel about people who smoke around children and like things like that. Or we got one where children in care homes are seen as criminals over not victims.
Oh, so wow. Let's start off with I think we should talk about both of those. So let's start off with, can you share the article about children in care homes? Because I've not seen that one.
Right. So it was posted around 9 hours ago. So quite new, but
Is this on the BBC website?
Yeah, on the BBC News, and it says that children in care homes are too often treated in society as criminals rather than victims, in an independent body says. And there's basically talk about getting a new care home built, and the comments that they're getting is, let's say, Mr. Sandyford said residents were often, at the very least, reluctant, if not actually hostile, when plans for children's homes are revealed. So it's interesting to think that people are seeing this as a negative, but in reality, there isn't enough care home facilities and not enough people are fostering to accommodate, to provide care for these children.
Who desperately need it.
Exactly.
I'm really shocked by that. I would never have thought that people would feel so negative about something that is so desperately needed. You know, if you think about the children who are having to be placed into these care homes, some of them have had the most horrific lives, experiences, and like you say, there's not enough foster carers out there for them to be able to be taken into a family home, which obviously would be the ideal for all of children who need it. But like, there's just not that provision, is there?
No.
And that's really, really sad that people would feel so negative. I can't understand that.
No, and I think it's because probably they don't see the other side to it, and they're just seeing the negatives of, like, the kids are basically acting out, but there's a reason.
Well, I think they'd probably class them as naughty children, wouldn't they?
Like naughty.
Not naughty children. They're children who are struggling with some terrible, family situations and life situations, and don't know how to deal with those emotions yet.
And there was a lovely quote from someone, it's not his name, but they put Lee. He's 17 years old and he's recently left residential care in northwest of England. He said, "I think children's homes have a really bad reputation. There needs to be more education around what children's homes are actually like. There's crime and antisocial behaviour no matter where you go. It doesn't make a difference whether you're in a children's home or not. It's a massive stereotype, if anything." And I think he couldn't have said it any better.
Definitely. So did you say that they're trying to put a new bill through to change?
Yeah. So I think they were like doing, let's see, target children. I think it was just setting one up. So she's to urge communities of well-being children above fears. So it's kind of like they are concerned over the fear of house prices rising up over the children's welfare. So it's like raising up the house prices as well. And it seemed to have a lot of factors in there. It doesn't say about setting anything up, but it seemed to indicate there is.
Well, it sounds like that. It sounds like you just said a moment ago, that those stereotypes need to be changed, don't they?
Yeah.
People are quite unaware of the sort of the realities of it, and like the negative sort of stigma of a children's home. Those care homes definitely needs to be changed. We work with some of the really youngest and hardest to reach young people, some of whom are in care homes, some of whom have been in care homes. And it's actually, when you hear their stories and the things that they come in and tell us, it's actually heartbreaking. I don't, anyone with any sense of, caringness about them, some of the things they tell you, I mean, it really, really is heartbreaking. And that's definitely something, we need to change people's viewpoint on those, don't we? Because that's not okay. And I don't like that saying they're criminals.
No, I think that's too far.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, let's hope something starts to change with that.
And then the conversation about like smoking also.
Well, yeah, so Pete's just said community-based childcare fully funded by the state is what's needed. 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely. That would be fantastic, but can't see that happening anytime soon, which is a real sad state of affairs, isn't it? It's our next generation. We need to be supporting them. Okay, sorry, what was you going to say, Rachel? Moving on to that next.
Oh, yeah. So this one is basically Northamptonshire country park play areas go smoke free. So they have.
So is this all of them?
I'm not entirely certain. So North West Hampshire have committed to the Public Health and Northamptonshire Plan. Executive Councillor Health Northampton Helen Harrison said exposure to the second-hand smoke while enjoying these areas is not sadly uncommon. So I think signs have now been erected at play areas banning smoking in a bid to stop youngsters from picking up the habit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if it says on how many parks or whatnot, but this is their first one. And
where's that one? Does it say?
Just seeing. Oh, it doesn't. Should say.
I don't know. Well, I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely think children's play areas should be no smoking. And I'm an ex-smoker, and I'm not one of them like, gone anti-smoking. I vape, but I don't think there's anything worse than being in a kid's playground and seeing someone smoking where that smoke is so close to the children.
Yeah.
I hate seeing that. And I know it's each their own, and other people may have a very different view on that. But my personal opinion is that I think that all playgrounds should be smoke-free. I know you're outside, but you need, stand away from the children, stand away from, the park, the play area. Beth just said it makes sense, but at the same time, children will still see people smoking when they're walking down the street. Yeah, 100%. And see, I think for me, this isn't so much about being smoke-free to make sure children don't see people smoking. It's about so that children aren't having to be around that smoke, And yeah, absolutely, 100%, Beth. They will see people walking down the street smoking, and there will be times when they walk through a puff of smoke, which I've seen before, where we work our building on Gold Street, and there's a lot of people that stand outside smoking, and people are sort of trying to get through with a buggy or whatnot. I hate that. I hate seeing that.
Yeah.
And there will be people that will just completely ignore the signs and still smoke anyway, because there's going to be no one policing it, is there? But yeah, so that's what.
Smoking in cars.
I can't stand it when I'm driving along.
Because it's just a container.
Yeah.
So it's gonna keep it in there.
You see them little kids in the back, and the mum or dad are in the front smoking a cigarette. And I say that like my mum and dad both smokers, and I, have always smoked in the car. And when we were younger, me and my sisters would be in the back, they'd be smoking in the front. Not making it's okay, but that, we're talking like 30 years ago when things, were a lot different to what they're like now. But if I still smoked, I couldn't imagine having my kids in the car and lighting up a cigarette, because it's one thing if we choose to smoke, isn't it, nowadays, if you or I choose to smoke, but it's another then allowing our children to inhale our secondhand smoke. So Pete's just said that he agree with this, but extremely difficult to implement. 100%. It's not going to stop people. It can't. There's going to be no one there to police it. I'm pretty sure that if I was standing at a playground with my kids and someone was smoking, I'd be too scared to say to them, "Excuse me, have you seen that sign?" Because you just never know how people are going to react these days, do you? But the thought and the thinking process behind it is definitely a good thing, because I do think children's playgrounds should be smoke-free. It'd be interesting to see. I'm going to have a look now every time I take my kids to one of the playgrounds and see if it's got one of those signs up. We'll see. Yeah, 100%, Pete. It's the same with littering and dog mess.
Yeah, I can't stand dog mess.
Neither can
I don't get why people don't pick up their dog poops.
I know. And like, we're both dog owners. I walk my dog. I always have poo bags with me. I always clean it up, because I've been that mum where your kid has run through, you know, poo, and I'm having to clean it, and I'm heaving, and it's disgusting. So many times, you know, mums who are pushing a pram, a buggy.
And then it gets in the wheel.
It's just not okay. And it's also dangerous if a toddler was to put their hand in it and go to hands, you know, it's just very, very lazy, isn't it? That is one of my pet hates. Not picking up your dog poo and not putting your litter in a bin when there's actually a bin there as well.
Disgusting. It's like, people make fun of me with how like dedicated I am to get the dog poops, because Poppy's only a Yorkshire Terrier, so hers are like little pebbles, but I'm there looking at the ground like, where is it?
Yeah.
2 minutes, because I don't. That's how like I don't like. I'm littering. I get like, I used to smoke, and I was one of those people that wouldn't put the butt down, and like I would find a bin and put it out. I just didn't like the idea of just chucking it on the ground.
My mum was the same. So she doesn't smoke anymore, but she vapes. But when she did used to smoke, she'd take out like a little tin with her, and so she'd like dog it out and then put it in her tin to take home and then throw away. Because she used to hate, you know, just dogging it out on the floor. So you can get fined for that now as well, can't you? Who told me? Someone who comes into the yard was telling me, and it wasn't in Northampton, and she had a cigarette somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And literally put it out, you know, stamped on it, put it out, and literally like that, police come round and fined her. I think it was like 200 quid or something.
Oh my God.
I know. So she's like, she doesn't really smoke that much anymore, but she has the odd one. But she's the same now. She goes to the bin, stubs it out, puts it in the bin. She said, having been fined for it, she's not going to make that mistake again. So Pete's just said, it's all about respect for others and civic duty, 100%. And half the problem nowadays is that so many people just don't have any respect for anyone or anything. Where I live in our village, there's a play area on the park. There's two dog poo bins and like normal bins, and still I'll go and walk my dog. And do you know what else is infuriating? The people that have bothered to bag up the dog poo but can't be bothered to put it in the bin, so just leave it on the floor. Get that so much around here. You'll go on on a dog walk and you'll just see that.
Like the bins are full, or just like
I don't know. The bins aren't full. No, they just can't be bothered to perhaps. Like sometimes I might have to hold it for a bit because I'm not at the bin, but then I'll put it in the bin. But they can't be bothered to even hold it, so they just chuck it on the floor. Honestly, I've just come back from a dog walk this morning. I must have seen 3, 4 just in their bags, just thrown on the verges and stuff. Terrible. So what's Pete says, there's a company in Sweden that is training crows to pick up cigarette butts. Oh my God, not heard of that.
That is cool.
Amazing.
That is a thing.
Yeah, that is so good. What did Beth say? Beth said, in my village, people put it in other people's black wheelie bins. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh, I'd be furious. I'd be absolutely furious if someone did that.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, what is wrong with people? I mean, as well, when I grew up, my mum we were taught not to litter. It's just like when my mum's always been really hot on it. And like, if we were out at a park or something and we'd had something to eat and there was no bin, my mum would say either put it in our pocket or give it to her, and she'll put it in her pocket until we get home. And it's just so sad that people can't be bothered to do that. Just to keep hold of it until you go home. Now, do you remember when it was, can't remember if it was the first lockdown and then we opened up slightly, and there was one day and it was a really hot day and loads of people went, I don't know if it was Bournemouth or Brighton Beach.
Oh, yeah.
And then you saw the pictures the next day of the amount of litter that people left. Honestly, that infuriates me, because who do they think then is going to clean up all that litter, you know?
Yeah.
And just to be so lazy that, you know, if you're going to the beach for the day, you're taking a picnic, you'll have a picnic bag or a basket or a carrier bag. You have something to be able to put that litter back into to take home.
Exactly.
Just damn pure laziness, and it infuriates me.
I mean, that day when they, like, I can't imagine being like cooped up for so long and then finally being able to go out and appreciate being outside, and then just littering it and leaving it to it's just fascinating.
And I think there was another one, like, so more local. I'm pretty sure there was like a picture of Abington Park as well, when I don't know whether it was the first day we were allowed to sort of go out to parks and stuff. And I remember seeing a picture of just litter absolutely everywhere again. And it just makes you really sad, because you just think, you know, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
And like now in Northampton, we have the, what are they called? The Beth, can you remember the Wombles? What are they just called? The Wombles. So they like voluntarily go round and pick up litter. They do such a good job. We had them.
Did they name them after like the Womble show?
I think so. I mean, I'm not sure what did the Wombles, did they have something
they
to do with
it? Collect things like and keep them in their houses.
Yes, that's it is. So yeah, Beth said it's the litter Wombles. So yeah, it's names after that. And like, these people are amazing. They just go round and they'll like say, right, we're going to go and do, I don't know, Hackleton Village today, for example, when people, you know, who live there will go, yeah, I'll come along, and they clean all the litter. They bag it in different colour bags. I think I've seen pink ones and yellow ones, and then they'll notify the council and say, oh, we have just done a litter clean here, and the council will then go and collect that rubbish. As Beth said, they had a Facebook group that you can join, and they organise the picks. Yeah, honestly, it's so good. People just doing that in their own time. And quite often when I'm driving around Northampton, I'll see loads of like bags on the side, and I'll see that they're pink rubbish bags. I'm like, oh, it's the little Wombles. But which is a really lovely thing. And I think that actually came out of lockdown. And we had one of the ladies who's, I can't remember, she was the organist. She started it. She might have even started the whole thing. And I'm pretty sure she came onto one of our sort of tea and toast sessions and was telling us all about it. And I'm pretty sure she said this sort of all came out of lockdown and being able to get out and do something for your community and that. So it's a really, really great thing that they do in Northampton.
Yeah.
But if we all just picked our litter up and put it where it was supposed to be, we wouldn't need them, would we? So yeah, it's a real shame. But yeah, I'll let you know if I find any parks that have the no smoking sign on, because it'll be interesting to see how many I can find. Okay, so moving on. So we've got one last thing to talk about, and again, it's something about in Northampton, which I just find I can't share it. Sorry, I'm not as IT efficient as Rachel, but I'll read it out to you. So another quite scary thing. So it's to do with people having their drinks spiked, which is becoming more and more common. So a lady, 23 years old, she wanted to remain anonymous, was left feeling violated as she speaks out over a horrific drink spiking incident at Northampton nightclub. Now, we don't know what nightclub it is, but it's a popular nightclub in town, and it was.
I think I know what it would be.
Yeah.
In NBs, but I don't know. I'll have to look at the article, see if I can find it. So,
yeah, it's a chronicle. So she says her drink was spiked on Saturday, the 29th of January, which left her effectively paralysed. And so this sort of date rape drug, whatever it was, is lasted for 3 hours between 1 and 4. She just collapsed. They had to call an ambulance. She couldn't speak because it left her unable to speak. And she said she hadn't had any drinks before going out, and she was on her 3rd drink, and she was dancing on the dance floor, and her vision went all blurry, and the music didn't sound right, and she knew immediately that she'd been sort of drugged. She tried to get out. She couldn't. She tried to speak to the bouncer and tell them that she was not okay, but she couldn't get her words out, and then she just collapsed.
Yeah.
And then couldn't stop being sick. Was taken to hospital. But you're hearing more and more of this spiking now, aren't you? It is so scary. I mean, I'm old, so was this the article?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm old. I don't go clubbing anymore. But when I used to go clubbing, there was none of this.
No.
Not one of my friends, not me, not anyone I know ever said, "Oh my God, I've had my drink spiked tonight." It's scary that this is becoming more and more regular happening to people, and it's not just Northampton. It's literally everywhere. So Beth said it's terrifying because the perpetrators are also finding other ways of spiking people, like through injections. Yeah, I've heard about that. People will just come up to you in a club and literally just stick a needle in you. It's so scary. Yeah, it's like Rachel's going to answer a door, so I've got to talk to myself now. It is so scary. And I did see, and I don't know if this is happening in Northampton. Beth, you might be able to tell me because you're a lot younger than me. Aren't some of the clubs now, when you have a drink, they're putting like a little thing on it that only a straw can fit through to try and combat things being put in people's drinks and effectively being spiked? I don't know if it's happening in Northampton. I don't know. I can't even remember where I saw the article, but that to me seems like a great idea. If I even go to a pub, or I'll never go to a club, I'm too old, but a bar or something, I would never, ever leave my drink on the side, even to the point I would take my drink to the toilet with me, because you just don't know who's around and what people are going to do. So Pete said, alarmingly frequent. Why is this happening? It's a global phenomenon. Yeah, it's so scary. And Beth, there's a couple of different things like that. I've heard of ones that you pop on the top of the bottles as well. Okay. Yeah. Well, perhaps that needs to be introduced in every drinking establishment to prevent any more. Well, I don't know. Well, if they're going to inject you, that's not going to help. But the whole drinks, the spiking of the drinks, hopefully that sort of thing can help. I watched this. I don't know whether this is true or not, if this was just part of a program I watched, but I did watch a program the other day. It wasn't true life. It was just I don't know what you call it, a drama. And this girl was having a drink in a club and a guy had spiked it, and her friend was sat with her, and she put her finger into the drink, and there's a nail varnish, and if it turns colour, I don't know if the nail varnish was green and it went to black or vice versa, you know that your drink's been spiked. Now, when I watched that, I thought, is that a thing, or is that just part of the the program that they've, I don't know. I don't know if there's actually a thing. I've not heard of it before.
But I don't know if it's a reliable thing.
Yeah, I don't know. So Bev said, but the problem is people are selling them for profit. I think they should be free. Oh, are they?
In places, I know, I've been told that in one of the clubs in Northampton, the incident where there was spiking notoriously, they then decided to actually sell drink covers. That should be a thing that's offered for free. So if you buy a cap for your drink, just the same thing.
I didn't realise you had to buy it. I thought that
I was told that with one of the places, because my friend who got friends who go clubbing, she said that it's basically that's where the bad things are happening, and yet they are selling protective measures to stop it, but it's still happening.
Yeah, see, that surely should be free, shouldn't it? That should just come standard with every drink.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what the cost implications are.
And it should be for both genders as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely. I'm not just saying, sitting here saying it's only women that get spiked. Men get spiked as well. Have you watched? It's a series on, I think it's BBC One, called 4 Lives.
No, I haven't.
About these 4 gay guys who it's based on a true story, and this guy basically spiked them all, took them back to his place and killed them. So he was targeting the gay community. He was gay, and eventually they found him. But yeah, he was spiking them and injecting them with stuff and everything. So yeah, 100% it happens to men as well. I think it's about everyone needs to be
Yeah.
aware now. I mean, I'm so scared for when my kids start going out drinking and clubbing and stuff. I'll literally be that mum sat outside in the car waiting for them, that embarrassing mum, because I'm so scared of all these things that can happen to them these days. You know, they get their drink spiked, someone might pull a knife on them. And I know my parents always used to be really worried when I went out, but I just feel like it's gone to the next level now. There's just so much more awful stuff. I know awful stuff happened before, but it just feels like there's a lot more now, isn't there? So Pete says, it should be available free at the bar. I would make it a condition of the bar license. They are not expensive to make. 100%. It should be a condition. 100%. I just don't know how. Also, how are people getting into clubs and bars and stuff with, like, obviously if they're injecting, they're obviously getting in with needles, and you know, it's all really quite scary, isn't it? Maybe there should be more thorough searches on the way in. And I know that means, you know, it's taking longer for people to get into nightclubs and stuff, but there needs to be a change in something, doesn't there? Because it's not good the way it's going. Oh, so Beth said, just having a look at the Guardian, they say 15% of women and 7% of men have been spiked. Oh, out of 747 people.
Wow.
Gosh, that's a lot, isn't it? Scary. I just think, you know, we need to, you know, we see a lot of young people down at the yard, and some of them are old enough to drink, some of them aren't. But like, as we all well and know, doesn't matter if you're old enough to or not, we all try and do things when we're younger that we're not supposed to. And it's about making sure our friends are okay, you know, making sure, you know, telling your friends not to leave your drinks, making them aware of these sort of things happen. And I know the drunker you get, the harder it is, but you've got to make yourself safe as possible, because it is so scary. And unfortunately it's going on all around us. I don't think it matters, like Pete said, where you live. It's going on everywhere, isn't it? Well, let's hope some of these bars and nightclubs start to bring those covers and caps and things in, so people don't, you know, have to actually pay for them, because that will put people off using them, won't it? Because they won't want to. Oh, okay. Well, that sort of brings us to an end this morning. This is just like a little mini one today because we can't physically be at the yard. Beth, quickly pop in the box on here. Is the yard open today, or are we closed all day? Is it tomorrow again? People can come down. I know that tomorrow Breakfast Buddies will be back at the yard, so that is 10:30 till 12:30. Come down, you know, the kettle's always on. We do all different things. We've spent the past couple of weeks helping some of our, let me just thank you, Pete. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It was great to have you with us. Thank you. Past couple of weeks, we've been helping people do some CVs. We've been helping them with some benefits they're not sure how to claim. Or if you just want to come down and chill and have a cuppa and a biscuit and have a chat, we're there for all of that as well. Tomorrow, and then it'll be back on next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Rachel, is D&D on Saturday?
Yes, I believe so. It starts at 1:30, and we also run it until, if you want something to eat, we have a break, so you can get something to eat and then you can come back and we continue playing games.
Awesome.
So, D&D on
awesome. And people can just turn up to that, can they?
Yes. It's under, I believe, 19, 18, so it's more for younger people to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. So, and I know that tomorrow night there will be the open youth group at the yard, and that's from about 4, is it? I'm sort of like waiting for Beth to see. I don't even know if Beth's still watching, and we're a bit delayed as well. When you're watching it online, there's a bit of a delay, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just sort of like trying to hold on to see if Beth can tell me whether there is anything going on later or not. But if we don't get to hear from Beth, it will be on our social media. What's going on down there today, and if we have to not open, I'm not sure what's going on, but if there's nothing on today, everything normal service will be resumed tomorrow. That's it from us today then. So thanks for joining me this morning, Rachel. It was lovely to have a little Thursday catch up. And
should we have a little special announcement before we go?
A little what, sorry?
Special announcement.
Oh,
so happy birthday.
Oh yes, we must.
Yeah.
God, how could I forget?
So happy birthday to Bianca.
Yes.
Yay. So
Yay. So
see
Bianca is our boss down at the yard.
Yeah.
She's actually taken the day off today, which is very much well deserved. She deserves a day off because she works incredibly hard. So yeah, it's her birthday today. So from all the team, we are wishing her the best and happiest of birthdays. And I will be seeing her later for perhaps a slice of cake. So because I'm a sister, so I have to go and celebrate with her. But yeah, we all wish you a really great day, and thank you for being a great boss, because we all love you. Right. Okay, that's it then. But have a good rest of the day, Rachel. And we will see you all really soon. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.